right now there seem to be kind of two groups of people forming, and there are the folks who are hanging on for dear life to the way the world used to be, and then there are some folks who are just head on right into everything, like, this is where we're headed. And I definitely know that I feel some of the things that I have lost in my life as this has changed, like certain activities, going out, seeing friends, what have you. It's sad, and I hate that, right? I miss that. And then then there are sometimes that you get folks who are just really, really mad about how things are changing and really doing just everything that they can to make things back the way that they were. And I get it. I understand this feeling. What has happened right now is so tragic, right? It is brutal on so many levels. People are dying, people are getting sick, and our economy is shaken to the absolute core. Who knows how we're going to get out of this? So I can understand, the attachment to the past, the way things were before it all went super crazy like it is now. So, but there is a place for the past. I am certainly one of these people who has a strange relationship with the past. I either love it or I hate it. This is a complicated time to think about the past and where things were. So this is what I go back to. This is what a teacher taught me. It just blew my mind, this concept. And what I use now when I think about the past and when we're in this situation. So, hello, I am Owen. Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. As always, we are live, so please feel free to say hello or whatever is on your mind. So, also, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, hit that button below this video to do that. And then on Facebook, we'd love to have you in our Abundance Hackers group on Facebook. Abundance Hackers are folks who know how to find creative solutions to support themselves and stay in service to those around them when times get tough. So if that's you, probably is, if you are watching this video right now, then go ahead. I'm putting a link in the chat. Click that and you can join, or just search Abundance Hackers on Facebook. So, all right. So a few years ago, I started getting into some pretty intense personal development work and really doing some work on myself and the thoughts and feelings and things like that. And in one of these early moments, it was a particularly profound evening, and I sort of sat up in the middle of this experience and was like, wow, I feel like my life sort of is just beginning right now. That my perspective on my life, on myself, had changed so dramatically that I felt really disconnected actually from my past before, and that almost sort of like that was just some sort of filler show until the moment I had felt at this time like, wow, I get it, it just clicks for me, like maybe my life begins now. And as I said this teacher of mine looks at me and he's like, well, it's not that the past didn't matter, and sure, your life may be beginning again right now, but every moment of your past is what brought you to this exact moment right now. And it's kind of interesting to think about, right? Like if we've got people in our lives that we don't have around any longer, sometimes you get exes, sometimes you have old friends, things like that, to think about that someone that you might be completely disconnected with now still has a bearing on where you are now, because clearly that was on your path to where you are now. So that not happening, it's a completely different path. So in this case, the idea of the past has a place to be completely honored, because it did get me to where I am right now, and it did to me in that point then, and it's gotten you to exactly where you are in this moment where you are watching this very video. So your past does have that place, and it does have a place to be honored in that it got you here. But that's just it, right? The past does have its place. We are here now, and that's the second half of it, is that it got us here to do what next, right? To sit back and look on the past. There are many times that I find myself, and I fall into this habit all the time of getting hooked on a routine, getting hooked on some sort of pattern that I put in place that served me at one point, but isn't really serving me any longer, right? There are sometimes I find myself, going out of my way to work into something that I put in place that worked a long time ago and doesn't work for me now. So I get hanging on to these things because it can be very, very comfortable, but the past place is simply in that it got you to the point where you are right now, and not to belabor it and do something if it is no longer serving you. Now, of course, if what it is still serving you, then don't worry about it. But if there's something that's in your past that you're still hanging on to, and hanging on to it is just dragging you down, or it's causing you discomfort in any way, shape, or form, we don't need any more discomfort right now. Here's what we can do about it. So the first step is to grieve it. Like, if it's something that you are hanging on to, you feel like it's not serving you, and you're thinking in the course of this conversation now that you might be ready to let it go, it is okay to grieve this thing. Even if it doesn't serve you now, if it did at some point, you have some attachment to it, it's okay. It's okay to grieve it, to feel, kind of sad that it might not be in your life in the same way that it was before, if at all. It is okay to go through that process. You have to go through that process on anything, big or small. Right? So grieve it, give yourself that space. And the next place is to be grateful, to now take a look after you have grieved your loss, to take a look at what is in your life. What are you grateful for? And perhaps what new things have popped up around you and in your life that are there now that you have let something go in the past that is no longer serving you. So take a look, make a note, even write it down. What are the things that you're grateful for in your life? And I'll bet you as soon as you do that, that's going to start filling in the holes that you might feel from whatever is missing that you let go before. And then the final piece in all of this is turn your sights forward to the future and start moving forward. Get going into the future and start moving forward. The best way to get unhooked from the past, start moving forward. I take a look at all the times when I start getting really, more than nostalgic, but like hanging on to old stuff from the past, or listening to old music a lot, or wishing that things were the way they used to be. Often I'm finding it's because I have no path forward. I've got nothing to be interested in, nothing to hook my attention to moving forward. And that is often the big problem. So really, one of the biggest ways to get unhooked from the past, if it's dragging you down, is to get going, to figure out what you want to do, where you want to be, figure out where you want to be in a month from now. I know it's hard to plan right now, but where do you want to be in a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, if you dare? Where do you want to be? Figure out a way that you want to get going and start moving forward. Understand how the lessons in your past and everything that you gained from your past is now a benefit to you in your path forward to where you're headed. So if you are thinking, oh, hey, Janelle, what's up? Janelle, I haven't heard from you forever. So good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. If you are, how you doing? It's really good to hear from you. If you need a path forward, if you're not sure how to move forward, then the best way to do it is to get in touch with your passion, to figure out what it is that gets you really, really excited, and then dedicate some time every day to doing that. I recommend taking an hour out of every day to spend engaged with, developing, moving your passion forward. And if you don't know what your passion is, then spend that hour of every day figuring out what your passion might be, exploring, just no rules, play around, figure out what it is that gets you excited. And then maybe you can get excited about the future of working with that, and that might release any unhealthy or just uncomfortable attachments that you have to the past right now. So if you need some help figuring out what your passion is or getting a little leg up on that, then go to owenjward.com, owenjward.com right now, and just let me know where to send you your free copy of How to Unlock and Unleash Your Superpower. Your guide to go from scarcity to abundance. So if you want some help on that, go right now to owenjward.com, download that, and I'll also send you some details about the exciting new 30-day challenge, which we're running right now. And we've got a new group that we are just about to launch now. If you want to be a part of that, then let me know. Let me know. Hit me up, send me a message, or definitely go to owenjward.com and sign up right now. Okay? That's it for today. Janelle, thank you so much for popping by. So good to see you. I hope that you are doing okay. I hope that you're staying safe and healthy. I hope that you're able to kick those connections to the past that don't serve you. And I will talk to you tomorrow.